country, around the world, just doing great things for America and serving my country.
My name is Maureen Basnicki, and I'm a Canadian 9/11 widow. I had the most amazing life before 9/11. I had my chosen dream job as a flight attendant for Air Canada, as a matter of fact. Fast forward, I met my husband, Ken. Ken was the most amazing father. I really scored. He was not only a great husband, but he felt strongly on providing a relationship with his kids as they grew up. So when the kids played soccer, he became a soccer coach. When they were playing softball, he became a softball coach. Skiing, he was a ski coach, became an instructor. He was a great dad and spent as much time as possible with his kids. Ken worked for an American company, BEA. I don't think it exists any longer. And he loved working with his American employer, and they loved him. He had a great run with sales and had made some big bonuses. He was asked to go into management. So Ken went down to the World Trade Center for two reasons: to say goodbye to his old co-workers who were still in sales, to introduce himself into his new management position.
My name is Brenda Berkman. I'm a retired New York City fire captain. This is something that I always had in my mind that I wanted to do, was to serve other people. That's what my parents had instilled in me. But women had never been allowed to apply, not even to apply, to the New York City Fire Department. I had almost 20 years on the job on 9/11, and I responded to the World Trade Center as a fire lieutenant for New York City.
New York City, beautiful day here, 80 degrees today.
Perfect blue sky, low humidity, the kind of day that all New Yorkers live for. No wind, but bright sun, just all good things day. Anything I do today is going to be great, right?
I can tell you every minute detail on that day. It was a Tuesday morning on September 11th. The weather was beautiful. I did not get up and do my physical training because I would do it at the Pentagon, so I thought. That morning, I was rushing. It was something that I just feel like I didn't get up in time because I have two little girls and they had a head full of hair, and I just didn't have time to do the hair. And so I just gave everybody a quick kiss and I'm out the door. The drive is 16 miles, but it took me about an hour and a half to get to the Pentagon because of traffic, and everybody in DC knows that. I think I may have arrived to the Pentagon about 7:40. I always want to be early. I got into the Pentagon, put on my brand new uniform, and sat down and talked to my office mate. Her name is Marion Server. Marion was the congressional officer for the Deputy Chief of Staff of Personnel, and I was her military liaison. So, every day we talk, and not that we only talk about professional things, but personal things. So she had a teenage daughter, and I was yet to have a teenage daughter, so she'd give me advice and so forth. But on September 11th, Marion shared all of the information I needed to put out at the meeting, and I specifically remember telling her, okay, I'm going, I'll see you when I get back.
So it was my day off, and I wasn't at my firehouse in Chelsea, and I was supposed to go out and work in a campaign of a public advocate that day. So I'm having my second cup of coffee, and it's 9 o'clock in the morning, and the telephone rings. And it's my partner's mother calling from Kentucky, and she says to me, "Turn on your television." I see the North Tower burning.
This is at the World Trade Center. Obviously a major fire there, and there has been some sort of explosion. We don't fully know the details. There is one report, as of yet unconfirmed, that a plane has hit the World Trade Center.
I went because, I knew that thousands of people needed my help. They needed the help of the entire fire department, off-duty and on-duty.
Engine 1 out, World Trade Center, 1060. Send every available ambulance, everything you got to World Trade Center now.
In the morning of September the 11th, I woke up at the crew layover, a beautiful city called Mainz, just outside of Frankfurt, Germany. And I turned on CNN because it was the only English station. And I was going to make myself a cup of German coffee. And it was at that time, unfortunately, I saw the second plane fly into the South Tower.
As fire crews are descending on this area, it does not appear that there's any kind of an effort up there yet. Now remember, oh my God.
Oh my God.
That looks like a second plane. So this looks like it is some sort of a concerted effort to attack the World Trade Center that is underway in downtown New York.
I knew as a flight attendant that airplanes just didn't fly into buildings. But I also knew that Ken was in one of the towers at the time. I was unsure which tower he was in. But to see an airplane used as a weapon, you can only imagine my shock.
To watch powerless is a horror.
I was desperate to know how Ken was going to escape, because in my mind, he was fit. And if anybody could escape, it would be Ken.
Everybody on, let's go!
I ran down to the lobby, and I guess I had a look of horror on my face, because I asked the hotel clerk to help me call my husband. I said I didn't care about the cost, charge it to my room, and here's my husband's cell phone number. Unfortunately, there was no answer on his cell. He called his mother. He said to his mother, "Something horrible has happened. I'm on the 106th floor. The roof is blocked, and I don't know how I'm going to get out." Unfortunately, the line went dead.
The colonel comes into the meeting at 5 minutes to 9, and there's small chat that we have. There is about 16 to 18 of us in this meeting. The colonel starts the meeting at 9, and he puts out information, and then he starts always to his right. and at his right is his assistant. And so she would put out her information, the second person. So I'm really the third person to speak. At about 9:30-ish, he said, "Marilyn, what do you have for us?" And just as soon as I started to open my mouth, there was the loudest explosion that I had ever heard. And the lights went out, it just got very dark, and you heard nothing. As I came to, I was on the opposite side of the room. I knew there was a door that would lead out of our office to the exterior. And so I grabbed on the door and I pulled my hand back and said, "Oh my God, that's hot." And so I could see under the door frame orange looking color. So I knew I needed to get out of this room. But you didn't hear anyone. So I climbed over the table that had obviously collapsed, and I started crawling. I crawled out the door that I walked in for the meeting. And as I was crawling out of the door, someone was holding on to the back of me. And I said, who are you? She said, "It's Lois," which was the colonel's assistant. Lois had to be late 60s, early 70s. So I told her, I got you. We're going to get out of here.
There's a lot of black smoke, a lot of twisted debris. The Pentagon itself has caved in from the top. There is much fire coming out of the windows.
So as I continued to crawl, Lois held on to me, and she sat back on her hip and said, "Colonel, I can't go any further." And I said, "No, Lois, yeah, you have to. You really have to." I said, "I can't leave you, you gotta go, come on." She said, "Colonel, I can't."
Isn't it disappointing when your plug-in fades? Once that freshness goes away, you're left thinking, okay, now what? Febreze Fade Defy Plug works differently. It's the first plug-in with built-in technology to digitally control how much scent is released to smell first day fresh for 50 days. It even tells you when it's ready to be refilled. Upgrade to Febreze Fade Defy Plug. Febreze, la 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 la. Isn't it disappointing when your plug-in fades? Once that freshness goes away, you're left thinking, okay, now what? Febreze Fade Defy Plug works differently. It's the first plug-in with built-in technology to digitally control how much scent is released to smell first day fresh for 50 days. It even tells you when it's ready to be refilled. Upgrade to Febreze Fade Defy Plug. Febreze, la 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 la.
Today, let's paint with New Bear Dynasty so that you can be proud of your walls.
Where's your furniture?
Oh, we thought it distracted from the new Bear Dynasty paint color. Let me take your coats.
Because Bear Dynasty only takes one coat.
Bear Dynasty.
Go ahead, throw your wine on it. What?
Stain repellent.
It's also scuff resistant. You're paying for that.
Introducing Bear Dynasty, the best of Bear, exclusively at the Home Depot.
We did it again. Verizon has been named America's most reliable network by RootMetrics, and our customers rated us #1 for network quality in America, according to J.D. Power, proving there's only one best network.
Life is full of unexpected surprises.
For your first day of school.
But other times, it helps knowing what to expect. At University of Phoenix, you can count on fixed, affordable tuition for your program. Learn more at phoenix.edu.
We now have fire confirmed at the Pentagon.
The Pentagon itself has caved in from the top. There is much fire coming out of the windows. It looks like something from World War II.
Were there lots of casualties before the bullets did? I don't know. I just know that we got out where we could get out. It was so hot everywhere else. I couldn't tell you.
Now, I had on pants. She had on a skirt with nylons. She said her legs were